So our training for today, we're going to be discussing the UG tracker, but specifically, we're going to be discussing the importance of using the seller stage wizard in our business. So I thought I would define from Homevestors what the UG tracker is. It says the UG tracker is a customer relationship management CRM tool that helps each franchise manage the relationship and interaction with sellers or with potential sellers. Entering and updating this information in a timely and accurate manner will help each franchise manage their business. So this is our CRM, right? And I'm sure we all know what a CRM is, but that's the definition. Why should we use the UG tracker? Well, corporate says you stay better connected with sellers, you streamline the processes, and improve profitability of your business. More effectively manage your business from the visibility seen through your data and data of other franchises. Higher earning potential. Better time management to allow for other activities. By tracking all leads in a timely and accurate manner, you optimize advertising spend. If the system is not utilized, there is incomplete data for advisors or management duty to evaluate campaign effectiveness. It's also a requirement of your franchise agreement. It benefits the entire HVA system. Better data, better reporting, better strategic system-wide planning, and ability to become more focused on the franchise-centric initiatives. And last, not using a system to track leads is a disservice to your business and the HVA system. So corporate is putting high stress on this so that we know how to use UG tracker, but also the seller stage wizard. It's important for our business, but it's also very important for the whole system wide. So that's kind of the breakdown of what that means. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. All right, can everyone see my screen? It should say seller stage wizard with a play button, a thumbs up. Thank you, Chad. Okay, so corporate has been doing an excellent job of providing us training. They have come out with play sheets, videos, micro learning, and I encourage all of you to look at what they provided for us, and we'll talk more about that. But this is what's called the Seller Stage Wizard micro learning. If you looked at the email this morning, what are the odds that it came out on the top one is they were talking about the Seller Stage Wizard. So this has been out for a little while, but they just sent out again this morning. So if you want to find it on your own, you go to Ugville, you go to resources, training, learning plans, and it's right there. You click on that, follow the instructions, and then it'll pop up and you'll get to this stage right here. So we're going to go through what they've created. So they've made my job easy this morning, and we're going to go through what they've created and talk about the importance and how the Seller Stage Wizard works. So we're going to go through this, and then we're going to go through a live demonstration on going through the Stage Wizard. So first thing is that here's our 5 objectives. First one, let's define the Seller Stage Wizard. Smaller. So the Seller Stage Wizard is an intuitive tool used to accurately track all leads through the opportunity stages. So the Seller Stage Wizard is the most effective way to update your opportunities and keep you in compliance. Where to locate the Seller Stage Wizard. So if you get your lead, if you want to find a specific lead, you go to the global search magnifying glass at the top right, type in the phone number, you'll find the opportunity, and then you want to click on the Seller Stage Wizard, which is in the top right corner of the screen. So here you go. You click the global search, type in the address of the phone number, pops up the opportunity. You open that up, and it'll be in lead queue. The lead just came in, and you see there the Seller Stage Wizard at the very top. and that starts it. So utilizing the seller stage wizard, you locate the opportunity. And every time you have a conversation, anytime you send an email, a text, that they call you, anytime you have some sort of communication, you should be doing the following: logging a call, recording the notes, adding a task to each opportunity. This is very, very important that every one of your opportunities or leads should have a task assigned to it. Even instead of task, to remind you to set a task, right? Because a lot of franchises manage their leads based on a task situation, where if you don't have a task, you might not ever see that lead come up in your CRM. So it's important to create a task for every one of your leads. Also, when you have the information, you want to update the opportunity with the property, the contact information. Then you want to change the opportunity stage. So keeping your stage up to date is important, not just for information, but also improves your advertising and provides accurate drip campaigns to sellers. So if you move your opportunity from lead queue to maybe attempting to contact, but then you go on the appointments and you make an offer and they accept your offer, but you leave it in attempting to contact, well, it's in the wrong stage. So the system doesn't know that you went on the appointments or you made an offer. So when you accurately move it through the stage and the correct opportunity, then the system knows that they need to send a specific drip campaign. So it's important that you do that on a timely manner. Now, as you go through this micro learning here, there are some links here. So here's some additional information on opportunity stages. You click here. Takes you to the email that was sent out. Click here for the handout. And here is a breakdown of what each operating stage means. So as you can tell, I printed this out and I have it, and you can go through and educate yourself on which stage means what. So you know exactly, based on where you're at with the lead, on what stage it should be in. Also on the far right-hand side, it tells you what information you should be putting in based on what stage that it's in. So I suggest to print this out and have it handy. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get to my screen here, and Zoom is blocking it. Okay. So there's required fields. So each stage has required fields that you have to put in, and we'll discuss that now. So when you're in contact stage, so when you first get a lead, it's in lead queue, okay? There's no information in there unless it's a web lead. If it's a web lead, then the contact will have more like the address, the name, the email. So that's good. But if it's a call, then lead queue doesn't have that information. So keep that in mind. So you go to the next stage. So you're attempting a contact stage. You have required fields as a close date. So you put kind of a projected close date that it could happen. You log a call. You do a follow-up task. So this is attempting to contact stage. You haven't talked to anyone. So you have to set up a task to either send another email, call them, knock on their door, etc. Next stage will be contacted, no appointment set. So you've talked to the person. You've gathered their name, their information, their address. You find out details about what's going on in their world and why they're selling, and you set up a follow-up task. Then next stage will be appointment set. So you set the appointment. You set it for next week. You log a call. You update any notes about the call. Recommended fields is you can do some recommended fields here at the bottom. Then you attended the appointment. Again, you want to do updated notes on how the appointment went. Now it's recommended, but I think this should be required that you've been to the house. You should be able to know what ARV is, property features, bedroom, square footage, size, so forth. But what happens if they called and they had to cancel and reschedule? So there is a stage that's rescheduled. The reason why this is important is because when you put it into these specific stages, the system knows what drip campaign email to send out to them. Okay. And then there's offer stage. You made an offer on the house, right? Then it's required. What did you offer? Closing date, maybe updated ARV, updated notes. Then they sign the contract. And my internet is slow. Let's see here. Okay. So now we're in contract stage. What type of transaction type is it? Is it an assignment? Are you buying it? Are you buying it and keeping it as a buy and hold? What's the actual purchase price? The date that you executed the contract, the close escrow title. So that was stage that requires there. Then it's the buy closing stage. This is when you close on the property. And just to keep in mind that you have 3 days to report a contract. In contract stage, you have 3 days to report it, and then you have 3 days for the buy closing. And it's also now a requirement that we upload the purchase contract and the Homevestor Advantage. It's also, I'm sorry, you need to put that in the contract stage. I apologize. Under contract stage, when you get a contract, you upload the contract and the Homevestor Advantage. And under buy closing stage, you want to upload the settlement statement. Good. So the last page here is the FAQ section. So you can go through this and understand how to upload the contract. It gives specific details on how to upload it. How to upload settlement statement. Has an FAQ and how to report closings. So this is it breaks it down on purchase contract, purchase closing, assignments, assignee, buy and hold. So this breaks down on how to report the property properly on the closing. Okay. And then how do I report a closed loss opportunity? Now, closed loss can mean a few things. It doesn't mean it's dead, but it also can mean that's dead also. So keep that in mind that you can move leads that you're not actively working, and maybe you need to reach out to them 6 months. So don't think as closed loss that means that it's dead. Okay. But when you move it to closed loss, it's going to ask you for a closed loss reason. Here are the definitions of what the closed loss reasons are. So it's important to know where to put it into. Okay. I do know that the FAC and corporate are changing these to be a little more accurate. And but right now, this is what competition means: inaccurate submission, no current opportunity. You know, the seller is not serious right now. It's not the right time. Owes too much. The seller is unresponsive or turned cold. Not a fit means a property's land, a mobile home, condo, too large, out of area. Maybe it's out of our territory. A robo-dialer, take me off the list. It's a vendor. And now we have the 3-day option period. So this is important that if someone calls you to take you off the list, that you need to quickly take them off the list, take them off the do not call list. So imagine you can take them off. Okay. If it's a robo dialer or a fake lead, it's important that you, in a timely manner, report that as a closed loss, and that's a reason because Imaginuity has a person that tracks this stuff. And if a advertising campaign has been hacked, and we're getting all these fake leads, they need to know that. So it's important that you tell the system as quick as possible that it's a fake lead. The 3-day option period, if in the event a seller canceled the contract, and the main reason was it was a 3-day option period, corporate wants to know that. We do want to know how many properties, if any, that we're going to lose due to the 3-day option, okay? Did I lose you guys? Sorry about
Hey,
that.
Ryan, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Are take me off your list and placing on the do not call contact list two separate things? Or when I select take me off your list, does it automatically put them on the do not call list?
Great question. That's two separate things. So you'll put them on take up the list so Imaginary knows, and then you need to input their information into that link with their information to take them off the list. So it's two actions. Okay. And then how do I update the contract? So keep in mind that let's say that you are through the stage wizard and you're in contract stage and they cancel or something happens. Well, in order for you to change like the contract stage, you have to take it back out and put it in offer stage. So if you're in contract stage, you're trying to change maybe the price or the date or ARV, you can't change it. You're going to get an error and you have to take it back out, put it in the offer stage and start the process over again. And then when you put it back to contract stage, it will reissue it in an invoice to the title company. Okay. So if you go through here, you might have seen a few links. Let's see here. Where was it at? Sorry, right here. So you see this blue link here. If you click on one of these links here, this is the one I want to click on for additional information. Is that it? Sorry, I want to make sure I click on the right link. Nope. Okay. So I will send this link out, but Sam Anderson has been creating these play sheets. If you have not viewed this email and these links and these play sheets, I highly recommend that you do this ASAP. So I'll send this out and you might want to save this screen to your computer because this was sent out September of 23, but they updated them, as you can tell in the orange here, so they update the play sheets. These are all the play sheets that they've created that you can use in your business. I suggest you print them out, double-side them, laminate them, and you can go back to them. So I'm not going to go through all these right now because we don't have time. But like, for example, we have lead management and post-contract play sheets. This breaks down what a lead management is, what you're supposed to do post-contract. It's front and back. And this breaks down the seller stage wizard. So if you go to the back here, so right here on the right side, you have UG tracker. Here it is right here. Tracking leads, seller stage wizard, and it breaks it down. So these play sheets are great. If you want to learn about drip campaigns and how they work, what exactly gets sent out, when it goes out, top reports to be going through on a weekly basis. You have a buy play sheet on a buy call. So I'll send this out, but I highly recommend that you guys go through these play sheets. She's done a great job. Okay, so we've gone through the micro, and now we're going to go through a lead here. So we're on our home page, and I want to go to a specific lead. So I type in the phone number, of the lead I want to work on. Okay, so this is the contact card. And we're going to go to the opportunity. So when it first comes in, it's going to be in lead queue. Now, we might want to scroll down here and start filling out all these fields, which you can, but that's not what corporate wants to do. We don't want to mess with anything down here. We want to go straight to the top and click Seller Stage Wizard. Now, keep in mind that if it's a phone call, you're not going to have any information. You're not going to have the address. If you have the web lead, then it will. So Seller Stage Wizard, we're in lead queue right now, and it's asking us to move it to the next stage. So this is attempting to contact or contact a no appointment set. So this all determines if we actually have talked to the person or not. So you want to click the button based on if you talk to the person or not. You can fill out the required fields you have to, and then these are the recommended ones. Now, if they submitted a web lead, they've already approved to receive text messages. So this box won't be in there if it's a web lead. But if it's a phone call, you have to check mark this box only if you had a conversation with the seller about this. Now, in my business, when I get the phone call and I'm gathering their information and I specifically ask them, are they calling me from their cell phone number? And they say yes. That's when I ask them, is it okay if I send you text messages from time to time? And if they say yes, then I have their permission. It's on a recorded call. Then I can check mark this box, and now they will start getting the text message drip campaigns. So at every stage window, you can log a call. So if I call this person and I talk to them and I didn't make an appointment, but I contacted them, then I fill in all the information I collected, their information, their address. I can send them text messages. And here is when you log a call. So you can say RC, made contact with seller or called. And we'll talk more about this, but I don't use log a call comments and notes for my mass notes. I rarely ever put comments in here, and I'll show you where I put my comments at. But all I do is that I made contact, I talked to the seller, they called me back, whatever it was, I do something here in the subject line. I save that. And then what do we have to do on every single lead? We need to set a task. Okay. So RC to follow up or call. Set a reminder. I want to call them tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. If you are working with a team, this is where you can set a task for one of your team members. You can put it for your buyer, you can put it for your coordinator, so forth. When you set a reminder, what's going to happen is tomorrow morning, I'm going to get an email. And it's going to say RC to call. And you can click on that and it tells you what you're supposed to do. So I like to set reminders because I'll get an email, so forth. So now this is still in contact and no appointment set. So I'm just going to save it. So tomorrow I call at 9:30. I make contact. They want to set the appointment. So I go back to Stage Wizard, come back down here, save next step. Now I'm in appointment sets. I have an appointment for the 26th, 10 a.m. You can add the appointment to the calendar. I have all the property information. Log a call. RC spoke to seller. Appointment made. Okay. Follow-up task. You can do anything. I often do tasks to run comps, send my email to the seller, copy my buyer. So this is tasks that you can do that to remind yourself what you need to do prior to the appointment. So we save. So now, because it's set, the seller is going to receive an email from the drip campaigns. So now we go on the appointment. We attended the appointment. We put the date we went on the appointment. And maybe we went to the house and the square footage was wrong. So I want to update the features of the house. Well, now I should know what ARV is. So this is the point where I put ARV, my repairs, I've been to the house. Okay. Now I've been to the house. Maybe I didn't make an offer. Maybe, you know, I have to go back. Maybe I need to do more research. So I'm going to set a task. And there's times I set a task that just says in 2 days to update the lead. Because maybe in a day or so, I have to run comps, I have to make some calls. There's a reason why I didn't make an offer. So, and the seller might be calling me back, I might be calling them, but I always set a task to even just say, update this lead based on what's happened in the last 2 days. So I'll set a task, save it, and then let's say you go back in 2 days for whatever reason and you make an offer. So seller stage wizard. This is correct. Save next step. And that's my offer amount. ARV, maybe I looked at it again, I'm like, you know what, this is only worth $675 and it's $40,000 for repairs. So now it's an offer stage. Now, for some reason they didn't accept our offer, then we set up a task to follow up with them. Okay. Save. Then they end up taking our offer. We get everything signed. Go back to seller stage wizard. Save next step. And now it's time to report the contract. So we report the purchase price, the date we signed it, the close of escrow date. And this is where you type in the title company. If you've used the same one, it'll pop up, or you create a new contact.
Hey, Ryan.
Oh, yes.
I was going to make a comment about when we do or don't move to the offer stage. Do you want to talk about that now or wait till the end?
Please, now.
So there have been some questions. I think there was actually a blog post about this of when is an offer an offer. There isn't a hard and fast rule, but if you want to think conceptually, if you use the CRM to actually leverage the technology and to run your business, one of the things is to identify the differences of your relationship with your various seller prospects. So if you go through and you're attempting to contact somebody and you haven't reached them, that's a different relationship than somebody you've actually had a conversation with. So if you hire a buyer, or in my case, I've hired Ringley, I told him, start with everybody that we've made offers to that we haven't bought houses. The only way you can do that is if you're tracking which sellers you've made offers to. So my rule of thumb, and as long as you're consistent, the second thing is to be able to track your business and your activity from month to month, or your buyer's activity from month to month and quarter to quarter. Whatever rule you make in your business, make it consistent. So when I talked to Brian in Florida and said, hey, what are we going to do? Our rule was anytime we gave a number by which the seller could make a decision. So if we said, hey, we're going to be somewhere in the high fours, low fives, if that's enough information, even though it's not a formal offer, if it's enough information that they can make a decision and say, oh yeah, that doesn't work for us, or that's in the range, we would change that to a offer. When we're talking numbers with the seller, we change it to an offer. And that's also in Sandler. If they have not earned the right to an offer, if they've not earned the right to get a number, we're in a different stage. But anybody who has given us enough information and we feel good about talking to them about a number, I would suggest you switch it to an offer stage, put it in the notes, even if you don't make them a formal written offer or give them an actual number of a contract. Because if you're doing your follow-ups or a buyer or Ringly or somebody is following up, if you have 30 minutes, I would want to follow up with people I've contacted and made offers to first, and then go back to people I've contacted, had conversations, and then go to people that, right? So you can make decisions on priorities. So again, whatever you're going to do, be consistent so you can track your business, and we can help and look at offer percentages and help you from time to time. But I would consider, if you have at any point given a number to your seller, go ahead and put it in offer stage and put it in the notes.
That's great. That's good. So contract reporting stage. So if there's a new title company, then you create a new title company here, fill out their information, and then that's saved for the future. Sorry about that. So this is the title company's information, but right here is the title officer. So this is the person's name, their email address, phone number. Now, when we get a contract, within 3 days, we have to upload the purchase contract here. You can put in multiple files. So the Homevestor Advantage, I load that up in a separate file, so they see that with ease. So you can upload the contract on the Homevestor Advantage here. You check mark this box. Okay. Now, there's deal vestors here. So you can, it takes the information you've inputted, and there's a whole nother training, but corporate does have a site where we can wholesale deals called Deal Vestors Out. And then save, and it will report the contract. So those are the stages. Any questions up to this point? Or anything I missed, need to clarify?
Ryan, when we have an option contract out, do we need to report it now as a contract, or only when we exercise the option?
I would always report any contract that you have. It's data that you did get a contract signed.
Okay.
Correct, Michael?
Yeah, correct. Once it's executed, so once the buyer and the seller have signed, even if it falls through, because you can always close loss it later. But if you sign that contract today, start marketing it, in a week from now, you get a buyer and then you report it, you've missed your 3-day, and they can charge you $100 fine. So anytime you have a executed legal binding contract, that you report that within 3 days. If you're still looking for sellers, if you have one of two sellers that are signing, you're still trying to get the last one. When you get the last one, that's when the contract is actually executed. And that's when you would report it.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. I've had conflicting reports over the years, so I just want to make sure I stay up to date with our counsel.
Thank you, Angela. So Angela, I mean, you are in here all the time. Is anything different that you do? Any suggestions that you maybe have for the group? Or is this in line with what you do?
This is pretty in line. What I don't do is I don't log a call. I always log everything in notes. And the reason I don't is because those sections don't communicate with each other. And I find it best for me to go straight to the notes and just scroll through when I'm looking for an answer to a question that I've already done within this file. I'll use the log a call type of task when I want essentially a pinned note. So that's how I've manipulated MAPS days to be similar to Ugville days.
Good. So, like, this CRM is expansive. There's so much to it, but if you could just use the stage wizard. So for the ones that are not using this at all, we just ask, and it's a requirement, that you move your opportunity through the stage wizard. Even if you don't set tasks, even if you don't do notes, even if you don't use the rest of it, we need you to move things through the stages. And if we stop there, fine, it is what it is. We will help you if this if you need more help. But if you want to use the rest of it, like Angela's talking about, it's amazing. I mean, this is a great CRM.
Well, and the key is also to do it timely, right? Because when I look at the reports for the Performance Club, I'll come to the end of the month and there will be 10 franchisees that have not updated Ugville. And then a week or two goes by and I'll go, oh, now they're updated from last month. The part of the key is if we have a campaign and if we're setting a bunch of appointments from that campaign, we know that's a good campaign. If we have a campaign that generates a ton of leads, but we get no appointments, then we know it's a bad campaign. Even though we got a ton of leads, we know it's a bad campaign. And knowing that information sooner rather than later allows us to make decisions in the next or in the current cycle, potentially, or the next cycle. Some of the stuff with the web leads, they've made corrections mid-cycle so we don't burn cash on leads that don't that don't convert. So timeliness is critical to our ability to generate more leads and to spend our money wisely. If we get the data a month or two late, it doesn't really help us. So when the lead comes in, really nothing should be in the lead queue more than 30 minutes, but at least at the end of each day, you should be clearing out your lead queue. Nothing should ever be in the lead queue more than a day. That's an indicator that we've missed something. So timeliness is super important.
Great.
I live in this CRM and I cannot stress how powerful the drip campaigns are. We recently had re-engagement from a lead from 2014. So far hasn't gone anywhere, but we got re-engagement because the campaign is running. And it's really important to update the buckets you put them in, or because I have mistakenly not updated a campaign after Lamar went on an appointment. So the prospect was getting confused by some of the emails or texts they were getting. And I got engagement and I went and corrected myself right away, but they're seeing it. Even if they're not talking to us, they're seeing it. So keep those updated. And it helps with your lead temperatures too. When you want to go check what's more urgent, when you see something that's hot, you can sort that and prioritize your day better.
Exactly. So each franchise is independently owned and operated. So keep that in mind. But what I do with the CRM is on the left-hand side here, it shows my activities, the things that I've done. I've logged a call, I've sent an email, I have a task. But as you see here on the left, and this is on my computer here, so I can see more, but on my phone and iPad, this is super small here on the left. But at least I can see what I've done or what my buyer has done. It's a snapshot of like, okay, they've called, they sent an email. So it shows what activities there are. But for my notes, like with
But you can also, sorry, Brian, on that left-hand side, if you click on the top where it says expand all, it gives you all of the detail. If you have a bunch of detail, it gives you all of the detail in those descriptions. You had all the notes from Homevestor's best practices and Salesforce. The recommendation is everything you do, you track on that left-hand side as an activity, because you can see everything, text messages and emails, everything that goes in and out is tracked on that left-hand side. Anything that's critical on the right-hand side, like, hey, this is the offer I made, or don't make a comment, something that you just want front and center, that's a quick view, should be in the notes on the right-hand side. But Homevestors and Salesforce recommends that we do not use the notes section for our ongoing conversations. That should all be on the left-hand side where the activities are. So Each office independently owned and operated, but that is the recommendation and the best practice.
But those don't talk to each other. Like I've had confirmation from corporate that
Correct.
those sides don't talk to each other.
That is
So you
correct.
do,
That's what I'm
if you
saying.
want that, you have to copy and paste.
Yeah, so the right-hand
Okay.
side is just a static, at any point in time, this is critical information. I don't want to get buried in my notes. So my conversations, the ongoing conversations are on the left-hand side. Anything that's critical that I want to make sure doesn't get buried, I would put on the right-hand side. Right? So that's, but they don't, you're right, they're independent, they don't talk to each other. One does not populate the other because they're used kind of for two different purposes. But yeah,
Okay.
that's, yeah, just.
I appreciate that. That helps me moving forward. That's my light bulb moment. Thank you.
Yeah, because the left side, you might do like a brief notes, kind of what you guys talked about. But if it's important and you want to see that, then you need to move that over to the right-hand side. You know, like let's say the initial call, they're like, oh, we want to move to Texas in three months. You got that on the initial call. But then with follow-up, like, oh, we have to move now in the next month. Well, you'd want to put that on the right-hand side. You want to update that because that's important to the file. So I have my initial note here. And like as Michael said, this is the important stuff. This is the critical stuff that I want to look on one screen here. So you can build it up the way that you want, but I have all the stuff on the left here saved. You know, seller's name, ARV, the links, seller's price expectations, timing, who has input, and then I answer my own question. So I just copy and paste it, and then I put the seller's information in here. So this is a quick snapshot. I can click on all these links. I search the MLS. I have my comps. I have properties I want to see, Zillow, RPR. So this is what my lead looks like. So it's just quick little notes that I want to see. And then down here, you know, I'll have my initial buy call notes, and then I'll write out, you know, what the call was all about. And then this will keep growing. So if I talk to them on April 15th again, and it's something important, I will put April 15th notes. So I like to see most of my notes on the right-hand side here, and I keep it all under the exact same notes. I don't create a new note.
Hey,
Michael,
Brian.
what's your thoughts? Yep.
Sorry, I've had a buy call come through and I just jumped back in. So hopefully this isn't asking you to, you know, recover too much information. But what you're showing me now, where you refer back to notes, all the information you've put in, links and everything, that's on the right side, the related notes, not on the left side under activities. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're calling the note side the critical information, stuff that's really important that you want to see in a snapshot. The left side is log a call, and you can write brief notes there on how that call went. But if there's anything important that was on the left side, you want to rewrite that and put it in the right-hand side also.
Which is, so left side is activities, middle is detail, right side is related. And that's where you have these details you were just showing under notes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ryan, quick question. The notes that you have, is there a template to just paste that, or do you have it always copied and then you just put it in there when you're on a call with somebody?
Yeah, I have it saved in my Apple Notes.
Okay.
And I just copy and paste in there.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because 4 months down the road, if they call back or I reach out to them, I want to quickly look at what the house is worth, what I offered, what's going on in the world. Like, I don't want to dig through the left side here, right? I mean, if they call me, I want to know what's going on, right? I don't want to have to like expand and look at every single call and try and read every activity I did. I put all the important stuff over here and I leave it at the top. Okay. Good. So yeah, I mean, we should try and not, you know, try and do an edit down here. You should always use a seller stage wizard at the top to go through it. So, well, good. Any other questions regarding this? Any clarification? Oh, one thing I do want to add, there's these links here that you can click on. based on what stage you're in, and you can watch more training on that specific stage. So keep in mind that if you're in lead queue stage, it expanded. If you're in contract stage, there's only 2 left. So there are some links that you can get some more training on.
I'd like to share a tip real quick. The campaigns, they don't restart. So you have to create a task for yourself to go in and restart. When a campaign ends and you go up and click relaunch campaign, if the campaign ended, you cannot relaunch it. I've tried lots of times. I've talked to corporate about it. So I always set myself the task. I'm touching each lead regularly as it is, but I'm always setting a task for around the time the campaign should be ending to relaunch the campaign. And over the years, I've just audited all of our leads so I can make sure a campaign is running and see if I've missed, if the seller, like if the prospect sold the house and there are nothing to us anymore.
So can you clarify that? I know what you mean, but for the group, there's short-term drip and long-term drip. There are timeframes associated with those campaigns. Do you want to share what those are?
I don't.
Yep.
We don't have that.
So we can do another training on that, but as I said in the very beginning, there is a drip campaign play sheet.
Yeah.
So let me stop my screen here. So I will send out that link, guys. But this is a 2-page drip campaign play sheet, and it has it all on there. Okay.
It does show. Yeah, it does show on there. It's I think it's 6 months for one, and yeah.
That'll be another topic. So
okay.
So for Stage Wizards, anything specific right now regarding this? Can we get a commitment to at least move our leads through the Stage Wizard? Please. Okay. Now, keep in mind that we have the app, okay, that you can use the app. It's being updated all the time. It's improving. So you have the app to be able to move things through. But also, if you're driving, you're not using the app yet, when you get the email on when you receive the lead, there's the blue link at the bottom of your email. If you click that blue link, it takes you straight to the opportunity within Ugville. It's a shortcut.
If it's been a little while since you've used the app, try it again. I think we are now at the minimum viable product stage. When it first came out, it wasn't, but we're there now. And your feedback, as we've mentioned before, is what's driving the product changes and improvements. So use it as a minimum viable product, and then provide recommendations, suggestions, feedbacks, things that you like and don't like. Turn it in so we can keep it going the way you want it.
Exactly. Well, good. Well, I'm going to stop the recording, but if we want to stay on and chat, we can. I just wanted this training to be specifically for the Stage Wizard. So any other questions, comments regarding this topic? All right. Well, thank you very much for attending, and hope you got a lot of it. Buy low, sell high.
Thank you.